Okay, in today's video, these are the items I'm making. It's a little tag made from wood from Dollar Tree and 3 prints. So let's get started on how I came to these finished prints. So you might remember when I made this little stamp here with my leaves from my previous video, I updated the handle on it, so the washi tape just kept falling off. So this is just packing tape, and I think that's going to be a much better handle. Then I have I wanted to do some more kind of like stamps. So this is on a sticky backed foam. So I cut this shape out, and I'll link this one. This one's from my Amazon. This was the die cut. This is one part of it, and then the other part I stuck it onto some cardstock. Actually, it was watercolor paper, and it picked out all of the pieces. So I just like laid this with the sticker undone, and it just stuck all on here. So I thought I'll use this to see if I can get some cool textures. And then this one I wanted to add here, so I'll just show you how I did this. Since it's a sticky back, all I have to do is remove that. I'm not too concerned about these little pieces. They shouldn't really affect anything. I'll try to remove them. I just want to make sure it's going to stick okay. Just stick that on. I'll do it on this side. Like that. And what I was doing is just cutting as close to the edge as I could, because I didn't want to have cardboard picking up on the edges. A little bit tricky at the top here, so I'm just going to leave that one. I'm not going to get too particular. Just trying to go as close as I can, like that. And then just flip them over, and I'm ready to add my tape. Start with the small one. Basically, I start, kind of work my way to the middle, fold it back, and then I just make sure I have enough left to fold on top of the cardboard on the other side. Doesn't have to be perfect. And there you go. I have a little handle. So I'll do the same for this one. Whoopsie. Oh, it's too much tape. It's okay. Let's try again. It's probably good. Okay, so again, just put it down on one side. Go until about the middle. And then just make sure there's a little flap. Just like that. Okay. Those. Now I had my words. You might remember these from the other day. Also, I wanted to try kind of doing the same thing to these. The problem was I was getting my fingers, when I go to lift it off the plate, my fingertips were touching the plate. So I'm hoping if I go to use these, without even having to adhere it to anything else, I'll be able to just pull it off the plate. So that is what I'm going to do for the items that I feel like I had to remove with my fingers to help me remove them. I also did one for this little pumpkin. It's again just a die cut that I have that I cut out of the foam that has a sticky back to it, just like the leaves here, same kind of foam. And then I cut close to the edge, as close as I could, and made the little handle. Okay, so I also have these ornaments, very similar to these. But my thought for these is I'm going to gel print to paint these in. So I'm going to use my gel plate, put put some designs down and then see if I can transfer it onto here versus painting on here. So it will also double as stamping onto the gel plate. Yesterday, or whenever I did my last video, you might remember I had these foam leaves. Well, I did one extra step where I am embossing. I'm going to emboss this one with this really cool leaf shape. So I'll show you what that one looks like. Okay, so that is so cool. So I can use either side on the pumpkin technically. I can use this side or this side. So I don't know if I'm going to put the tape on this one just yet. This one has words, so I had to do the one side so that the words will come out the right way. So that's why I did this one. But I might wait to do the little handle thing on this one till I figure out which way I like better. And then I did also find these leaves this year at Dollar Tree. And what I like is there are these, I don't know, burlap leaves, different colors, but they also have some embossing on them as well. So we're gonna just do some fun stuff. I did try this on a 3D embossing folder. It does squish it down quite a bit, so you get the impression, but it definitely is much flatter than what it started out as. So these didn't squish down as much. So this is just a regular embossing folder. This is the 3D embossing folder. Squished it down quite a bit. So again, it doesn't really matter because I think it'll still work the same, but just kind of showing you the difference. Okay, so this is going to be just cleaning off my jelly plate. I did this one the other day and I did forget to pull this print, so I'm just using some gold paint. I will use just a piece of copy paper. And I'll let that sit for a few minutes to dry. All right, let's see what this one looks like. Now the design I used on this one was from my Baby Bell cheese packaging. I was having a hard time getting the texture to stay still. You kind of see that in here where it started moving. Just put it on the plate and tried to brayer it and it just kept moving. So I taped it onto a piece of cardboard, stretched it, and I'm going to see if I get a better result with that. Okay, I'm going to start with my darkest color, the raw umber. Just going to put it on the edges. Actually, I'm going to use I like to use my small brayer for this part, just because I just want a little bit of grunginess. And, well, let's see how this one works. It definitely works a lot better. Let's see. What else? I think I will just brayer away some of this. Just don't want too much, just a little bit. So if you brayer it while it's still wet, it should come up. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'll put my paint colors that I'm gonna use on top. Okay, that's dry, so I'll do 3 colors. In this case, I'm going to do an ombre. I'm gonna do my pumpkin orange from Folk Art. I'm gonna do my wine from Craft Smart. And then this one is Poetic Plum from Deco Art, Americana. Definitely put too much of the red down. So I'll just brayer some of that off. That's better. I am going to use this leaf. Yep, and you can see it just leaves the impression of where the embossing is. Gonna see what the pumpkin looks like. Same thing. Leaves those cool leaf texture behind. And it's starting to dry. So let's see if I can get this texture right in the middle. Oh yeah, there we go. Now I'll go in with this buttercream color. I'm going to use my pumpkin. Perfect. I cut just a little bit here, so I might cut that down even more. Now, before I do my little cup, this is going to be my sample one. So I'm going to let this dry, and my layer that I will pull it up with will be bronze. So I'm going to do it on a piece of paper because I just want to see, do these layers work well before I put it on to here. So it'll be like my tester round. Okay, so now I'll do my bronze. I've got this piece of paper that I pulled this print from. I'll just use the other side. And I'll just let that dry. Okay, this is our test to see. Don't think I'm gonna love it because I think I pulled away too much color with the orange, the red, and the purple. And I am glad I didn't put that onto my little wooden thing just yet. I wanted to see if this would look right, and it does not. See, this right here, I just pulled away too much. So I'm gonna go for some more intense color so that it'll show up nicely on the wood. Okay, so this time around, I am going to use my bronze first. I'm gonna skip the brown. And I'm going to use my little pumpkin. I cut this out closer to the edge here. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, and then let's see. I might do this one, the bottom, and maybe this, the leaves. I didn't put one of those little handles on this one, but I think the swirlies look really nice on this texture. Yeah, it's really pretty. And remember my pine cone. This had a flat side to it already. So there's a rounded side and a flat side. I've been stamping with the flat side. Okay, now I will let that dry and then I'll go in with my colors on top of that. All right, let's do those 3 colors again. I think this is, I'm gonna stop after this right here. I'm not gonna remove any more. Only problem is I can barely see where my pumpkin is, but I kind of can see it's right there. So I want to put the pumpkin in the center of this is my plan. And I'm thinking I can just pull it up, just like I would my textures. Stuck on there, good. Okay, didn't quite work how I thought it would. I wonder if I had to let it dry. I just learned something. Do it again. But since I have a gel print here, I'll just go ahead and keep adding to this. We'll do some Hello Autumn. Ugh, these just really stick. I think I'll do some of this. Couple of dots. Okay, I'll let that dry and then I'll probably, just because this is going to actually be a gel print, I'll come in with my greens next to kind of pop off of those colors. Okay, so the 3 colors, got primary yellow, light green, and fresh olive. Okay, got my placement tool. Just going to use half of this paper, copy paper. This is my 5x7 gel plate. So you can fit 2 5x7 prints on a piece of 8.5 by 11 copy paper. Okay, so this one should be dry. Oh yeah, that turned out really nice. So you can see with the copper, or the bronze actually, all in the front. I think for this next one, I'm not going to do the bronze in the front. Let me think about this. I think I want to do yellow, orange, and red first. And now, I'll do my pumpkin. Okay, and I really like this. I'll do that again. I think I'll do this one this time. I liked this as well. Oh, I'm gonna press a little too hard, I think. Okay, and then I did like this also. Got these little berries. I had a hard time with these the other day, but I'm just using one little area. And that's working out quite well compared to the other day when I tried using these. They were just rolling all over the place. Okay, I think I've done enough. So I'll let that dry. All right, so I've got gold, bronze, and copper. Okay, I think that's actually pretty good. So now what I'm going to do this time, where's my first thing here? This one. I am going to do the same thing. It may not line up exactly as it was, but I'm just looking at where the pumpkin is, trying to get it in the center, and I'm going to let this dry. So I think why it didn't work the first time is I didn't let this dry, and then the paint underneath it didn't come up. So I'll set that aside to dry, and I'll pull it up when I feel like the underside of this is good to go. But also, since I know this is all going to dry around the cup, I'm just going to do a little bit more texture if I can. It seems to already be drying, which is good. Yeah, it didn't pull up too much. So I'll just let that dry. Okay, the whole plate is dry. So I'm hoping that means this is dry. Okay, interesting. So it didn't pull up over in this corner. And I don't think I pressed hard enough here and here. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep trying with these. I think I'll just focus on my print instead. So I think what I'll do is go in with a cream. And instead, I'll pull my pumpkin here. Then do some marks. Maybe I'll do something like this. And then I will do more of this. Looks like chicken wire to me. Okay, I think I'll stop there. Well, maybe one more thing. This in the swirls. I'll stop there. Okay, going back in with my 2 greens this time. And I've got the other side of this page. Flip it. Okay, so let's see what that one looks like. Okay, so let's see if this is dry. Feels dry. I had it sitting about 10 minutes, so should be enough time. And so you can see here where the cup didn't completely take away the red. That's okay. Just looks like the cup kind of goes into the background. Farm Fresh isn't very legible, but that's okay. And then I've got the cool dots, just the kind of gold details in the background. Can definitely enhance this and make it really awesome. Set that aside. Now, while that was drying, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep going with that little cup that I had made, but I thought maybe I'd pull out. I did some jelly roll. Actually, I did the 10 jelly roll. And I started with the whipped cream. Then I went in with a thin black painter's marker. And I just started doing the black detail on the words. And then I have a gold Rust-Oleum pen. And I did the gold thing, touches around this area. So I think it actually turned out really cute. And all I have to do is remove my little handle. And then I think I can use this as a really cute little tag. And I'll probably even do gold along the edging. So I'll finish that up and I'll show you what this will look like as a tag. Okay, so there was a little bit of hemp or twine that came with these little cups, and I have my own gold and white twine that I used, just mixed them together. And you can see along the edge is gold. And I think that's going to make a really super cute tag for maybe some kind of a fall gift, or like fall pumpkin pie or something, pumpkin muffins, anything like that. So I think that's going to be super cute to use. I also got this stamp for my channel. My Etsy shop is also Teresa's Crafty Cabana. So let's go like this. So I think I'm going to do just my little stamp. Right on the back. So cool. Okay. So now when I give this to someone, they'll know it's from me. What do you think? Do you think it turned out good? Can you tell there's jelly printing on there? Again, it came off a little bit here, but I was glad that it had a layer underneath it. So I think doing the pen on top of it really brings out the pumpkin detail that I really wanted on there. And it completes it with all the gold details on the side. What are your thoughts? Think that's a win? Or should I just use them as stamping onto the gel plate? Alright, so these are the prints that I got from today's session. This one turned out to be really shiny. I may go over this in another session just to bring more of the matte colors back in. Or I might just use that as an accent. This one also has a lot of the shine on that top layer. I really like the colors on this one. And the texture. I like how that one turned out. And then this one, it does have the shine. More of the matte shows through. I think this one would look really cool with some markering over Farm Fresh and maybe also over the cup area. So I think those turned out really nice for the prints. And then here is my tag. So yeah, that finishes my video today. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope I see you in the next video. Happy crafting, y'all!